today we have a question under bearing, okay? And then there are a few concepts that I want you to know or to remember all the times when you want to handle any question under bearing. Okay, this is a very simple question, and I've seen most of the learners, they shun away from this question. Why? Because of the few concepts that I'm going to give you today. Okay, so before we come to this question, we have the first concept, okay, about angles. When you have two parallel lines, okay, when you have two parallel lines, okay, and then there's a transverse line cutting them. Two parallel lines, and then you have a transverse cutting those two parallel lines. So the tricky part here is that the alternate angles are equal, okay? Alternate angles are equal, okay? So meaning this angle here and this angle will be the same. Now, this concept is one of the concepts that we normally apply a lot when we're solving bearings. That's the first concept. We go to the second concept. Okay, the second concept will be angles in a straight line, they add up to 180. The third concept will be angles in a triangle, they add up to 180. Now, these three concepts here, they look to be very simple. Others, I'm sure they're just laughing. So these are the concepts. Yes, just these three concepts, they can help you to handle any question under bearing. Now, notice the way we are going to solve it here using this. So, at each stage, I'll be explaining which concept you are going to apply. Okay, so we'll start with the question now. In the following diagram, A, B, and C are 3 points on level ground. A is due north of C. Angle ABC is 50 degrees. Angle ACB is 60 degrees. The first question is saying, find the bearing of A from B. Okay, so we are finding the bearing of A from where? From B. Okay, the bearing of A from B. Meaning the letter that comes after this word, the from, is our starting point. And the bearing always, bearing is an angle. Okay, in our context, we are going to be using a three-figure bearing. We are not using compass bearing where we have poles. We are using three figures, just numbers, angles only. Okay, so in this case, they want us to find the angle starting from B, going in the clockwise direction up to the line which is connecting A and B. So what you're going to do, since on A you already have the north line, but on B we do not have the north line. So we're going to draw a north line here also. Okay, we're going to draw the north line just here. Okay, so this is representing our north line on B. Once we have that north line, now it becomes easier. Now we are saying it's a bearing of A from where? From B. Meaning B is our starting point. We are starting from north line, going in the clockwise direction. So from here up to the line which is connecting A and B. So I'm stopping here. We want this entire angle here. Okay, don't be confused. Now we'll go in parts. Okay, we'll go in parts. So here are the parts. The first angle is this one here. Okay, come back to the concepts we talked about. We said angles in a straight line, they add up to what? 180. That's the first concept we are going to apply. So where is the straight line? This is the straight line. Okay, so meaning this angle here is 180. That's the first angle I found. So this angle plus, so this 180 plus the angle starting from here going there. So I'm going to remove this a bit so that we're able to see what I'm talking about. So the second angle is this one here. Have you seen? So the first angle is 180, okay, plus this angle here. It means we are going to get the entire angle that we want now, from here up to there. So how do we get to find this one here now? Very simple. So what we are going to do, here on C, this is already a north line, okay? Because they're saying these points, they are on the level ground. This line, as you can see, it's a north line already, okay? So from here, we can apply. So this line and this line, they are parallel to each other. There's a transverse. This is our transverse right here. And what is the property of parallel lines with a transverse? Parallel lines with the transverse cutting them, the alternate angles are equal to each other. So when you look at this line here and this line here, okay, they are parallel to each other. All the north lines are parallel to each other. That is the concept you need to remember. There is now the transverse which is cutting them, this. Meaning the opposite angles, alternate angles will be the same. So here we have 60, meaning even this is also 60 degrees. But what we want is everything from here up to there. So now we can just add 50 and 60. Have you seen that? So now this angle that we want is 50 plus 60, which is 110. So we're just going to add now. So the complete angle from here up to there to give us the bearing of A from B will be 180 plus 110. So let us add 180 plus 110. This is 0, this is 9, and this is 2. So our bearing of A from B is 290 degrees. It ends there. Have you seen the way we're applying these three concepts here? Very important. Okay, we go to B. We want now the bearing of B from A. Okay? The bearing of B from where? From A. Okay? So this is 60. So what we want is the bearing of B from A. And I've said the tricky part here, the letter that comes after this word from is our starting point. So in this case, our starting point is what? A. So the bearing of B from A. Here, A is our starting point. So we are drawing, this is the angle up to the line which is connecting A and B. So we want this angle. We come back. Have you seen? We'll come back to this. When you look at this line here and this line here, these two north lines, they are parallel to each other. Okay? Once you know that these are parallel, then you begin to look for the transverse. What is cutting those two parallel lines? So what is cutting this and this? It is the same line which is connecting A and B. So meaning the alternate angles here, they are supposed to be the same. So this is alternate to which angle? It is alternate to this angle here. Very simple. So since it is alternate to this angle, here I have 50, here I have 60. To find the complete angle here, I'll just add what is 50 plus 60. That's our final answer. So the bearing of B from A is 110 degrees. These questions are very simple and straightforward. You get your 4 marks. Very simple. So just remember, all your north lines, okay, all your north lines are parallel to each other. Okay, all your north lines are parallel to each other. Meaning, this concept will be highly used. At the same time, those lines that are connecting your points there on bearing, they are what we call as the transverse lines. They will be cutting your north lines. So this concept will be applied. Parallel lines, and you have a transverse, a line cutting the two parallel lines. Then the alternate angles will be equal to each other. Second, angles in a straight line, they add up to 180. And lastly, angles in a triangle, they add up to 180. These are the 3 concepts that you need to remember when you're dealing with the bearing. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to share and like the video.